Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody is having a powerful, peaceful, productive, efficient, healthy Thursday. Hopefully, y'all got about 40 to 45 minutes to tap in with the kid, listen to the bill, add on, all that good stuff, man. I ain't been live in about 6 days, but we tapped in now, man. We ready to get some things off, ready to get some things off my chest. So, like I say, hopefully, y'all got about 45 minutes to tap in. I'm gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to go ahead and tap in. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday. What's the word? How we holding up? How we living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday, man? The temperature looking nice where I'm at. Hopefully all is well wherever you all reside. But what's the word, man? Let me know how y'all living and feeling. Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. Y'all see the subject matter. Javon, peace. What's happening with you, my good brother? What's the word? Like I say, y'all see what it is. We see the subject matter, man. We talking about leadership and not needing permission, specifically from a woman, in order for us to do what we need to do as men and as lead. Ray, peace. What's happening? What's the word? What's the word? What's happening? Angelic, peace. What's happening? Country music for a week. Nah, yeah, that sounds treacherous right there. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. But yeah, y'all see we talking about, man. We talking about that leadership. We don't need permission, you know. So I gotta talk to the fellas. But as always, when I'm talking directly to the fellas, man, the sisters definitely benefit from the conversation, of course. Shakori, peace. What's happening? You know, I see a lot of times we get caught up in this little debate going back and forth with these women, going back and forth with these sisters, man. And I'll be like, I had to tell dudes to cut all that nonsense off, you know. And I've always said this, and this is just studying history, studying great leaders, studying leadership in general. This is what's happening. You know, in no point in time, if you studying history, if you studying successful people, if you studying leaders, no point in time are you ever going to hear a leader or see a leader complain about people not allowing them to lead. I've never came across that. I've never came across any leader talking like that, saying such and such won't allow me to lead. Like, we don't have time for that. I'm not about to be sitting here talking about who won't allow me to lead. I'm just going to lead. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to lead. You know, those that don't want to follow suit, that's on them. I'm not about to be sitting around focusing on them saying, well, they won't allow me to lead. Like, man, I don't need them to lead. You know, if a person is not following suit, if a person is not allowing you to lead, so to speak, then again, you leave that person where they at. I don't need nobody permission to do what I'm here to do, which is be a leader. Like, nah, I ain't never needed that. Y'all out here seem like y'all asking for permission to lead. Y'all, it seemed like y'all sit around asking these women to allow y'all to lead. Like, no, we don't do that. we don't do that. Rex, peace, what's happening? I'm not about to sit up here and ask y'all for permission. Hey, sister, can I lead you in the... No, you know what I'm saying? Like, my ways and actions are that of a leader, fam. That's what it is. So again, I don't need any permission. I don't need somebody to validate or confirm my leadership. No, I don't need that, fam. Like, I don't need that. Like, at all. And you don't need that as well. Magic, peace, what's happening? What's the word? But I'll be hearing a lot of dudes make these type of statements talking about what some of these sisters won't allow. Won't allow. Like, that's like, listen to how soft we sounded. Oh, these women won't allow us to lead. Okay. Said no leader ever. Said no great leader ever. See, the problem is we not tapped in with leadership. See, I was thinking about this the other day. You know, we got to become better leaders. And the way to become better leaders, man, we got to study what leadership is. And we got to apply the principles. You know, we don't know what real leadership is, man. We lacking in a leadership department. We think mugs supposed to bow down to us simply because we say so, or simply because we a man, or simply because we paying a bill, whatever the case may be, man. Leadership is levels to being a leader, fam. It's levels to leadership, you know? It's levels to it, fam. Leadership is something that you have to learn about, you have to study. You don't just, because of your status, automatically get handed over the leadership position. Nah, it may work like that for some, but nah, not for the most part. Not for the most part. It's levels to leadership, you know, and you don't need anybody's permission to apply or implement the principles of leadership. But a lot of us, man, I don't think we really know what leadership entails. I don't think we know what leadership is. You know, I don't really think we know. You know, it's a lot more to leadership than to tell somebody what to do or suggest to somebody what to do. Part of being a leader is also listening. So it's like a lot of times when I heard dudes say she won't allow me to lead, a lot of times they be talking about they trying to tell a woman what to do and she not listening. Okay, cool. That's one aspect of leadership. But are you also listening to what it is that she's telling you? That's a part of being a leader. Some of the best leaders are the best listeners, fam. You know, so it's levels and layers to leadership. Leadership is way beyond just telling somebody what to do or suggesting something for them to do. It's way deeper than that. So when people sit here and say people won't allow them to lead, what are you talking about? What are they not allowing you to do? Like, that is the question. So if you coming across a sister and you telling me she won't allow you to lead, I'm gonna have to ask you a question. What is she not allowing you to do? What is she not allowing you to do? She not allowing you to be yourself. What is it that she is not allowing you to do? You know, because I'm not about to ask no woman, can I be myself? I'm not. See, y'all gotta listen. We gotta learn how to lay that hammer down and I'm not arguing with you. Like, it's some things that's off limits in my world. Like, I'm not about to be, it's not up for debate about somebody allowing me to be me, be myself. Man, we not about to negotiate that. I'm not about to ask her, can I be myself? Is it okay if I be myself? No, I'm going to be me regardless. I'm going to be me without somebody. I'm going to be me with somebody. That ain't up for no negotiation. I'm not asking somebody for permission to be myself. You know what I'm saying? And be who I always was and who I always will be. I'm not about to ask for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for permission for that. No. So again, when somebody say she's not allowing me to lead, what are y'all saying? What are y'all saying? Somebody let me know. Rex, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need to ask for permission from a woman in order for me to lead. She gonna either follow suit or she is not going to follow suit. And if she doesn't follow suit, then we are not going to be together. It is that simple. I don't need to ask her though. That in and of itself is weak. Asking somebody, like, I don't need to ask no question. What do you do that? If I'm doing my due diligence, if I'm right and exact in my demeanor and my principles and things like that, my ways and actions, if everything is right and exact and she not following suit, then we gonna have a conversation. Time to clean some things up. If she don't follow suit after that conversation is had, now I see where she stand. Now it's time to leave that. It's time to leave that. You know, if you're not leading that woman in the path of destruction, fam, if you're not leading that woman in the path of destruction, like you doing things that will elevate her mentally and physically, and if she's not down to follow suit with that, then she has some deeper issues, fam. She got some deeper issues, straight up. You know, if you the man, y'all get together and y'all was on the same type of time beforehand, and you start making changes and strides, striving to be healthier. You striving to eat healthy, striving to exercise, things that you wasn't doing beforehand. And in no way, shape, or form is she trying to follow suit. You done gave her a few months, gave her a year, and she not trying to follow suit, and she giving you all this backlash for some stuff that's healthy. You know what type of person you dealing with. Jasmine, what's happening? Paper chasing, for sure. For sure, always. You know, like I said, I don't need anybody to anoint me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need anybody to put a crown on me to let me know who I am. Like, nah, I know exactly who I am. I know the principles that I stand for, and I don't need anybody to validate that. I don't need anybody to validate me. Although there are people that can vouch for me, but I don't need that because I know myself, and I'm going to continue to move according to this knowledge of self. You know, it's that simple. It's that simple. You know, we be playing too many games with these women, man. Y'all be trying to negotiate with these women when it comes to certain things, man. It ain't certain things we not negotiating, fam. Like, why? Certain things we just don't negotiate as men. It's certain things we don't negotiate. Man, and I'm gonna give you a prime example of some things that didn't get negotiated when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I'm a prime example of some things where it was like the woman, you might as well go ahead and sit this one out. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Just me being a son. It was certain things to where my mom's she got overruled by my father when it came to certain things. When it came to us fighting, when it came to playing contact sports, things like that, the moms had to go ahead and sit that one out. Like my pops wasn't about to allow her to put any type of soft energy into my mind, so she had to ride it out. You know what I'm saying? We finna put him out there. He about to play this football, or if he fighting in the neighborhood, we gotta let him do this. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let him go out here. We gotta let him do this. We gotta let him take these hits, this, that, and the third. The women, y'all nope. They wasn't allowed to intervene with that. You know, wasn't allowed to intervene with that. Like, I don't want my son playing football. Chill on out. Let the man deal with that son, man. Let the father deal with his son. Like, come on now. Rex, for sure, appreciate that donation, for sure. Like, it was certain things, man, when I was growing up, that being a son, it was certain things to where the women in my cipher, they just couldn't even have an opinion about. Like, the men that was around me, like, you finna do this what it is. Don't matter what your grandma say, don't matter what your mom say, this what you about to do, or this how you about to handle this situation. And let that boy do that. You know, the man, the father, the grandfather, the uncle laid the law down, say, man, let that boy go out here and do X, Y, and Z. And that's just what it was. That's just what it was. They didn't ask the mother, they didn't ask the grandmother, could I go do that? Nope. Let that boy got to go learn it this way. That's how he got to go about it. You know, they didn't took the bike from him. We know who did it. Let him go get that bike back. Let him go walk up there and get his bike back. Let him do that by himself. You know, this is part of raising a young boy to be a man. You know, stuff happening like that. While the mother might be like, nah, we can't let him walk up there. No, it wasn't no negotiate. Oh, they took the bike. You know who did it? You go walk back up there and get your bike back. Straight up. Like, that's something like my pops or like my grandfather, like my uncles or something, or even my brother. That's some seeds they gonna plant, and we not dealing with any outside energy from women. Like, it's certain things that I couldn't, my mom's them, they didn't stand a chance. They didn't stand a chance. They got overruled. You know, so it's certain things that it's just like that. You know, it's certain things that it's just like that. We not negotiating. And on the flip side, it's certain things, when it comes to raising a daughter and things like that, it's certain things that I ain't even trying to negotiate with a woman. You know, So certain things just need to be left alone when it comes to men, and certain things need to be left alone when it comes to women. Let the women deal with certain issues when it comes to their daughters, when it comes to themselves, and let men deal with certain issues when it comes to the sons, when it comes to themselves. Straight up. Yeah, no back and forth at all. Infinite Charms, peace, what's happening? TR, peace, what's happening? No back and forth at all. Like, for real, when it comes to certain topics, subjects, and just ways to handle certain situations, certain things are not up for negotiation. And it's a lot of things that just women don't understand. Like, again, like contact sports, things like that. Like, you have football moms and things like that. But growing up, a lot of women didn't understand why y'all want to. We got testosterone. Like, we wired a little bit differently than y'all. So some of us enjoy going out there trying to knock the head off of another young man. This is part of the male energy that some women will never understand. So it's hard, like, no. So just leave it alone. Leave it alone. I didn't heard plenty of times, even talking to me about having sons and kids, and women telling me what a son won't do. Like, you not finna tell me what my son not gonna be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, that ain't how we roll. We don't do none of that soft nonsense. We not about to be like my son. I'm not gonna let my son go box because it's dangerous. Man, life is dangerous for a young black man, for a young black boy. Life is dangerous. You're not gonna be able to keep him sheltered your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So now, that right there, that never sits well with me. That never sits well with me when I hear women say, I'm not gonna put my son in such and such because it's dangerous. Like, if I can't stand hearing that. Like, I cannot stand hearing that from women pertaining to sons. Not gonna put your son in X, Y, and Z because it's dangerous. Well, y'all don't understand how dangerous that is in and of itself. When you not putting these young boys in something because you view it as dangerous, you don't understand that you are contributing to softening these little boys up. And then when we get these generations of soft men, everybody looking around like, what happened? Well, it stems from stuff like that. I'm not putting my son in something because it's dangerous. No, that's out the window. Especially being a young black man, a black boy, it is dangerous out the gate. So the moment you decided to lay down with another black man to conceive a child with the possibility of it being a young boy or a son, you already, you know what I'm saying? You was bringing him into a dangerous environment. You was bringing it into a dangerous environment. You bringing the child into a dangerous environment the moment you decide to say, I'm about to have a black child. I'm going to lay down with this black man. We're going to have a black child. You bringing him into a dangerous environment. So what you mean you're not going to put him into something because it's dangerous? What? We not going to do that. Rock Fresh, I'm trying to tell you, don't hit my baby. What is it? Like, chill on out. And then I done heard, if they hit my baby like that, I'm going to go down there and do. No, you not. You know what I'm saying? You not going to do anything. It's part of the game. Your son get knocked down. He better get back up and go get his lick back. You not finna run down there as a mama and do absolutely nothing. Sit down somewhere, Let your son get his lick back. That's how we do it. And that's how we was all raised. And that's how we got to pass it down. That's how we got to pass it down. That's how we got to pass it down, man. I got a client and he got his little son in football right now. He told me a little story. I ain't going to tell it all the way, but he told me a little story about his son in practice. And y'all know the hamburger drill if you ever played football. And he was talking about his son doing a hamburger drill with one of the best dudes on the team, and he didn't want to go up against him. And he said he went off on the son in front of everybody, because he said he don't tolerate that soft nonsense. So he went off on the son in front of everybody. He was like, man, look, you shouldn't fear any of these kids out here. They bleed just like you bleed. And he let him know this in front of everybody. He said the coaches after that pulled him to the side and said he should have waited until he got home to do that. See, that's the type of soft stuff I'm talking about. No, you shouldn't wait until you got home, man. What you afraid for? Man, we got to stop pacifying these especially these young men, these young boys. We got to stop being soft with them. We got to stop being soft with them. Fam, that's how we was all raised, man. And I'm telling you, that's how we raising warriors out here, man. We can't be making them soft, and then they go out to the world, man, and can't handle anything, and the world gonna treat them the worst. We can't afford to be raising these young black men to be that soft, man, because we gonna get treated the worst. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta raise them to be prepared for all the stuff they gonna have to deal with, all the nonsense. So that's one thing. And if you are a woman and this doesn't apply to you, then I applaud you. If you one of the women that's out here, because I know plenty of them. If you one of the football moms out here that don't be like, don't hit my baby, or I'm not putting my son in this because it's dangerous. If you not one of them, then I applaud you. You know, but if you are one of them, then you are contributing to the problem. And then they start turning around saying stuff like, well, he didn't like football. He doesn't like this, that, and the third. Man, listen. Man, listen. He didn't like it, or you was planting a seed in his ear. See, sometimes, man, it ain't really about what these kids like, man. That's what I was told. Like, we had to be active. Fam, I did some of everything as a kid. I had to be active. It wasn't really about what I liked. It was like, all right, we gonna put you in all these sports, and you better just pick one or two or three, you know, but you not finna do nothing. That's how I was raised, man. I wasn't finna, we wasn't about to do nothing, man. I was in the band. I done did the Boy Scouts. I done played baseball, basketball, football, ran track. Man, I done did everything. Man, I was in karate class a few times. Man, I just did some of everything, man, because we wasn't about to sit around and do nothing. So it wasn't about to be no, oh, he don't like it. Nah. We gonna put you in all this. We gonna experiment, and we gonna see what sticks. But you doing something. You ain't about to just sit around this house telling me, oh, you don't want to do nothing. You know, that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all be let, as my pop said, I'll never forget this because I was a kid and it struck me. But my pop, I never forget, my pop said, he said, one thing I'm not gonna do is let a child run the household. Meaning, I wasn't about to be able to just sit around and tell my pops what I ain't like to do or what I ain't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the parents ran the household, not us, like not the children. Fam, so that's why we had to always be active, fam. That's why we was active. You know, and that's why that trait has carried on with me. And you see how that works. You know, them having me be active at an early age, now I grow up to be this guy now. That's a part of my life because they had me be active out the gate. I stayed active. My pops was always telling me, man, you need to go outside. You know what I'm saying? Them kids outside, man, you need to go outside. Man, sometimes I want to go outside, but man, most of the time, it's like, man, you need to go outside. Like, why are you sitting up in this room all day? You need to go outside. You know, so all that pushing me to be active, now you got a child, that's all I do. Now I make a living being active. So you instilling these habits in these kids at a very early age. And a lot of that was my pops pushing me. You know, so again, it wasn't no my pops asking for permission. Like, he didn't care about, man, you need to stop trying to force that boy to do. Nah, he was going to do what a man's supposed to do in regards to pushing his son. You know, and sometimes a lot of that gets misunderstood. Man, the tough love is still a form of love, though. Just because it's not the form of love that you may give out and distribute, it's still a form of love, though. It's a very misunderstood form of love, in my opinion. But it's still love, though. It's still love, though. You know, a lot of times, people just overly criticize approaches when it's not their approach. And I feel like tough love is one of them. Tough love is something that gets a lot of criticism, but I feel like tough love that raised a lot of us to be warriors, man. I feel like the tough love that raised a lot of us to be right and exact. You know, straight up. I see nothing wrong with tough love. Nothing. And y'all can go off on me, but I don't see nothing wrong with tough love. I see nothing wrong with it at all. I feel like tough love made me who I am. Like, it led me down this path. Tough love. You know? A lot of different forms of love, man. And I feel like tough love is one of them. And it's a very great form of love, man. When you get a little older, as a kid, you may not get it. But when you get older, I promise you, all of us men right now that received tough love back in the day, I promise I'm not the only one that now I grew up and I understand that approach now. I understand what was happening then. I didn't understand it at the time, but now I can look back and say, oh, now I get it. This is why they was on me like that. This is why they was pushing me like that. Now I get it. Now I can appreciate it. You know? So for real, man, tough love, man, I'm telling you. Tough love, I appreciate it. 100%. All the tough love that I received back, and I received nothing but it. You know what I'm saying? And I even clashed with a lot of people. But man, now I can sit back and say, okay, I see how that then affected me in a positive light. I get it. I get it now. Not being baby. I now understand what they mean by when they say, don't baby that child, don't baby that boy. Now I get it. When they use, don't baby him. You know, when I'm sitting around when you a little kid and you hurt and they tell, nah, don't let him get up. Let him walk it off. You know, like that's the stuff that was happening. Nah, don't go down there. Don't console him. Let him get up. Let him get up. Let him walk this off. He'll be all right. That's the type of way we was raised. Now I understand. Now that's why I'm so solid as a man now, because I was raised like that. You know, I got all that stuff out of my system then, man. You know, I took the L's and I had to get up and walk the stuff off because I had the men around me preventing the women from coming over there. Oh, look at him. He fell. He just separated his shoulder. Nah, let him walk it off. He'll be all right. We need that balance. We need that balance. Because y'all see what's happening. Y'all see the generation of soft, easy little soft dudes walking around, everybody thinking they got to pull out guns and stuff like that, man. We see what's happening, man. We see the product of all this pacifying these young boys, man. We see the product of that. We see the product of that. You know, and part of that is on us, man. We got to continue to rise to the occasion as men. We got to be better leaders. And I say this all the time. We got to be better leaders. We got to study leadership, and we got to apply the principles. You know what makes someone a great leader? Like I said, one of the main things that makes somebody a great leader, listening. And then the second thing for me, I ain't even gonna put it in order, but another thing that makes somebody a great leader for me is when they actions and they words line up. When I was a child, I tend to listen to the person that said something and then did what they said they was gonna do. I paid more attention to them. I respected them a lot more than the person that said one thing, did another. So I felt like back then that was very important back then, and it's very important now. But when a person's words and actions line up, that makes a very great leader. You know, when your words and your actions line up, to me, that's necessary or required for great leadership. You know, when I was a captain on the football team, I wasn't a loudmouth dude. My actions matched up with my words. The few words that I spoke. When I tell the little homies, work hard, I'm telling them to work hard and then I go out there and work harder than them. That's how I do it. If I'm going to say something, like, for one, I'm not going to say much, but when I do speak, it's important. And then when I say something, best believe I'm doing it. I don't believe in speaking on something that I'm not applying to my own life. So when I tell you to work hard, I'm telling you that because I told myself that, and I'm doing it, you know? And before I even have to tell you to work hard, you going to see me work hard first. So me just telling you to work hard is just reinforcing what you already see me do or seen me do. You know, so great leader got to be able to listen. Got to be able to listen. And then you got your way, your words and your actions got to be in alignment. And then number 3, man, you got to be reliable. You know what I'm saying? Like, a leader has to be reliable out here, man. A lot of people ain't, a lot of dudes, y'all ain't reliable, fam. You got to be reliable, man. You got to be trustworthy out here. People got to be able to trust you, fam. If I'm not able to trust you, you're not going to make a good leader if your people cannot trust you. So you got to be reliable, fam. And again, it goes back to what I was saying about your words and actions lining up. You know, so you got to make sure you're reliable. If you tell somebody you gonna do, if you tell that sister you gonna do something, fam, do it. If you tell yourself you gonna do something, fam, do it. It's reliability, man. You got to show that you're a reliable person. You got to show that you are a reliable person, fam. You got to be trusted out here, man. Again, especially when you dealing with a particular group of people that have been scarred, that then lost the trust of the black man. So we trying to reestablish the trust. So they got trust issues, just like we may have the trust issues. So when you're dealing with somebody that got trust issues, hey, you gotta move, like, you gotta move a certain type of way, man. You can't be out here saying some things and then you not following through. So you got to make sure you're reliable, especially when you're dealing with a person or dealing with some people who have trust issues. You know, so we got to stop saying, and this even applies to yourself, not even just making promises to women. The promises that you make to yourself, make sure you fulfill them joints. Make sure you fulfill them joints, man. And then we already know the next quality, man, because we use this A word. We talk about this A word all the time. A great leader will hold himself accountable. You know, when I played sports, fam, when we took the L as a team, a great leader was like, you know what? I could have played better. A bad leader like, y'all trash, y'all suck. I did my job. Why y'all ain't do yours? You know what I'm saying? They blaming other folks for the L that we took as a team. You know, I'm going to be accountable. I'm like, look, man, I could have played a little better, man. I missed a few blocks. You know, I could have, instead of going this outside, I could have, boom, planted that foot, went in, got a few more yards. Like, I'm analyzing my play and seeing where I went wrong and seeing where I could make improvements and strides. That's what a true leader is going to do. You know, if I'm leading a situation and something ain't going the way that I needed to go, then I played a role in that. So a great leader going to be like, all right, man, what could I do to make sure everything is running smoother? Man, I'm not going to blame you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to blame you. What I'm going to do is look in the mirror. I'm going to watch my game tape. I'm going to watch what I did wrong, what I did right. And then I'm going to put that into motion. You know, I'm going to put that into motion. Lindell, peace, what's happening? So that, a great leader definitely holds himself accountable for the entire team, fam. We're not just going to place the blame on the team and say, y'all trash, y'all suck, I did my thing. Nah, if I'm the leader of this team and we took the L, fam, it's something that I did or did not do. Because I'm leading the troops, fam. I'm leading the troops. I got to be better. I got to play better. You know, if the energy was off and this is my team that I'm leading, then my energy must have been off. The team a reflection of my leadership. You know, straight up, man. So we got to understand what's required to even be a great leader. And a lot of y'all dudes that's claiming some of these women won't allow y'all to lead. Do you have the proper qualities to be a great leader? That's what you must ask yourself. That's what you must ask yourself. Do you have the proper qualities to be a great leader? Hey, Zaru, appreciate the cash out. But do you have the proper qualities to be a great leader? That's what you must ask yourself. Somebody not allowing you to do something. Well, do you have the qualities? Because right when you say somebody not allowing you to lead, that right there lets me know you don't have the qualities. Because I'm not about to be out here saying, won't nobody allow me to lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even on that type of time. I'm going to do exactly what I need to do. I'm leading by example. And the folks that need to follow suit, they will follow suit. The folks that don't need to or don't want to, they will not. And I'm going to leave them right where they at. I'm going to keep evolving. I'm going to keep elevating. And I'm going to leave them right where they at. They decided not to follow suit. You know, the moment I decided to embrace the leadership role, and they didn't decide to elevate and evolve alongside your boy, I'm leaving them right where they at. I'm leaving them right. I'm not forcing it. I'm not about to ask you anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's about to happen. This is why it's happening. You could either get with it or get lost. Everybody that knows me know that's how I operate. I'm not about to beg you to make some changes in your life. I'm not about to beg you to take care of yourself. Fam, I'm just going to take care of myself. And then you going to see it. And then you going to make a decision off of that. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Magic for sure. Yeah, humility most definitely is important, man. Yeah, that humility is important. Which, when people get hit with that role, some people get a little big-headed, you know, so that humility goes down the drain, you know, but that's definitely important. You know, that's definitely important for a leader to possess that humility, you know, and then just the strength, man, you know, the strength. Like, I tell my clients, like when I'm training folks, I tell my clients that I'm not going to have y'all doing anything that I can't do myself. You know, that's strength. You know, so if I'm asking y'all to lift a weight off, I'm asking y'all to do an exercise, best believe I can do this exercise myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, best believe I'm pushing y'all hard, just as hard as I'm pushing myself. I push myself hard. You know, again, leading by example. Lead by example. If you're not leading by example, then I don't really know what you're doing. You know, I don't do too well with the folks that just lead by their words. Like, nah, we got to lead by example over here, man. We got to lead by example. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, it was a lot of them. You know, a lot of them type of cats. You know, and again, everybody not fit for a leadership role too. Everybody not fit for it. Just like everybody not fit to be a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got some very great players that can't coach a team to nothing. You know, you got somebody like it, like you got great players who can't coach and own teams. You know what I'm saying? You got the great, like the GOAT Michael Jordan owning the franchise, trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trash. You know, so when it comes to certain positions in life, man, you got to possess certain qualities. You know, so you could be a great player, but that don't necessarily mean you will be a great coach or a great owner. It takes a different set of skills, fam. Different set of skills, and not everybody possesses those skills. Like, straight up, you know, and that's why, like I say, you see them folks that go from being a great player. man, some of the best coaches were nowhere near the best players back in their day. Nowhere near close. You know what I'm saying? But they tapped in. They were studying the game. They were studying. You know, back when they were sitting on the bench or whatever the case may be, man, they studying. They seeing what it takes to lead this group. They studying the coach that they played under. You know what I'm saying? Like, they studying leaders. Like, a lot of them were well read, man. I be studying a lot of coaches, and they talk about some of the leaders that they study, you know, military history, all this type of stuff that they are studying, you know. So they studied it, man. They immersed themselves in leadership, and that's how they became great coaches and a leader of men, you know. So again, man, we got to stop sleeping on the subject of leadership. That's a whole subject that needs to be studied. A whole subject that needs to be studied. Shakir, peace, what's happening? So don't sleep on it, man. We got to master leadership by studying the subject. You know, do you possess all the qualities of a great leader? Be honest with yourself. Do an honest self-assessment. You know yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Right now, if I ask you all, do you all have what it takes? Or do you consider yourself a great leader right now? Y'all can all answer that. I'm asking all of y'all that's tapped in. Would you consider yourself a great or good leader right now? Right now. How would you rate your leadership abilities? On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being gross. If you had to rate your leadership abilities right now, up to this point in your life right now, what would you give yourself on that scale from 1 to 10? What would you give yourself? And don't lie to yourself. I don't want to see a bunch of 10s. You know, if you had to rate yourself right now, what would you give yourself? On the leadership ability scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being gross. What would you rate yourself, man? I want to see what y'all rate yourself, man. What would you give yourself on that leadership scale from 1 to 10? And again, we got to be honest with ourselves, man. We got to tell the truth. What would you give yourself on that scale from 1 to 10? Go ahead, let me know how y'all. We got a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. You got 5 out of 10. Keep them coming. What you rate yourself? We gonna be honest out here. This is part of accountability. Looking in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm gonna give myself 6 out of 10. What y'all giving yourselves? What y'all rating yourselves out on that leadership scale? You know, and women, pay attention. You know, pay attention to what my brothers are rating themselves, man. You know, that's accountability. When you can say, man, I ain't nothing but a 5 out of 10. You know, that mean I got, hey, that's 50%. If we was looking at school, that mean I'm failing. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of stuff I need to work on if I'm at a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? And that's a very honest assessment. So I'm gonna let y'all rate yourselves, and then we gonna have to tap in future lives, and we gonna have to really build on some things. You know, we're gonna have to really build on some things. We're gonna have to put some of y'all to the test to really test y'all leadership. You know, straight up. You know, if you telling me you got about an 8 or 9 out of 10 on the leadership scale, fam, then I should be able to give you a group. I should be able to give you a group of young bulls, a group of old, I ain't even gonna say old bulls, you know, they don't listen. So I should be able to give you a group of people, and you should be able to lead them in the right direction with very minimal amount of problems. Like, straight up. And even if there are problems, if you're giving yourself an 8 or a 9, you should know how to handle these problems without losing your top. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, I should be able to give you a group of people, give y'all an assignment, and you should be able to lead this group of people to complete this assignment efficiently. And if there are any problems, I don't care if we got trouble. I don't care if it's a group of 10 troublemakers. Being a great leader, you should know how to deal with that. See, Akuma, that's what I'm saying. If you finna give yourself we don't great leader, it don't matter. I don't care if they don't, if they listen, cool. If they don't listen, cool. Because again, we got to know and understand everybody got a different way that we need to communicate. So if it's somebody that don't listen, they not listening for a reason. So again, if I'm a great leader, that none of that matters. None of that matters. So if you giving yourself an 8, it don't matter if they listening or not. You should know how to get through to any and everybody because you're a great leader. You're a great leader. You know, so if I'm a great leader, if I got this group of 10 and 8 or 9 of them, they listening, one not, we off with his head. You know, but if I'm a great leader and I got 10 folk and ain't none of them listening, that's a reflection on like, nah, something is my approach is off. My approach is off. You know, so a lot of times we quick to say somebody is not listening instead of analyzing our approach and our delivery. You know, so this stuff goes both ways. There's always two sides to everything. Back, like I'm gonna use myself as an example, because my father could have been the one to say I wasn't listening to him. I listened to everything he told me. I remember everything he told me, but I didn't like his delivery a lot of times, and that caused us to clash, and that gave off the vibe that I was not listening. But I did not like the delivery. I did not like the approach. It was a certain way that you had to approach me, and I don't feel like he approached me that way a lot of times. So it might have appeared that I wasn't listening, but I didn't like the approach, and I let that be known. And the approach was not adjusted. So we continued to clash and bump heads. What all he really had to do was adapt and adjust, because I was giving him the information that he needed in regards to, hey, this how, like, I don't like the way you just said that. You know what I'm saying? So when you listen, it's like, all right, now I'm telling you, I didn't like that approach. I heard what you said, but I don't like the way that you said that to me. And every time you say that to me like this, it's going to be a problem. Like, we're going to argue. You're going to fight, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So it's always, it's two ways to it. And a lot of times I feel like we too quick to say folks not listening. I done done that. I done yelled at folks and said, man, y'all ain't, you not listening. But man, when I go back and tap into my delivery, man, I'm loud. I'm yelling at them. You know, I'm coming at them aggressively. That might not be the best way to talk to them. But then I'm going to write it off and just say they not listening. Sometimes it be a little deeper than folks just not listening. Sometimes that's the case, but sometimes it's also our delivery. And we always think we delivering things the right way. You might be delivering it the right way in your mind, but that person may need that delivered another way. You know, so again, we got to be able to adapt and adjust in regards to how we approach and deliver messages, because you can't talk to folks all the same. You know, so I done been there, done that. I done been the one that has been accused of not listening, and I can play back everything that was said to me. I just didn't like the approach. So if you approach me in a way that I do not like, and I tell you, and you continue to approach me that way, I'm not, you gonna talk to me, I'm listening, I'm hearing you, but you're not gonna be able to tell, because I'm gonna give off this vibe that I'm not listening, because I told you, don't talk to me like that. You know, I told you I don't like the way you speaking to me. You know, so when I give you this information and you brush that off to the side like it don't matter, and you about to talk to me however you want to talk to me, that ain't gonna work. I'm trying to tell you. And I was big on approach, and it wasn't even really just my pops, man. It was a lot of folk, you know. But I got into it. I used to get into it a lot, you know, and that's why I was just like, when it came to certain things, it wasn't, hey, my pops, that dude. But just because dude is your pops or she is your mom's, don't mean that they are the best teacher for you in regards to certain things. it was just certain things that I couldn't take instruction from my pops from. I just couldn't do it because the approach was, it just wasn't, it didn't mesh. You know what I'm saying? Like his style of teaching and my style of learning did not go together. You know what I'm saying? And if he wasn't open to changing his style of teaching, and I'm not open to changing my style of learning, then it wasn't gonna work. So we had to go get some outside parties to get through to me because it wasn't working. His approach and my approach towards listening, it didn't mesh well. It didn't mesh well. And that's no knock on my father. That's just how he was, and that's just how I was. You know, it didn't mesh, fam. And it didn't mesh at all. You know, so you say something and I ain't like it, and I voice it, and now we have a problem. You know, I'm getting called all type of stuff. You know, but it was just the way that I needed to receive them. Like I knew the way I would have liked for people to talk to me, even as a kid. When you said something and I just felt like you was talking to me like I might have been stupid or something, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things I picked up on early as a kid, and I didn't like the tone of certain things early. And I'm just like, wait a minute. You talking to me like I was supposed to know how to do this and I ain't never done it before. Why are you coming at me like that? You know, like I'll voice that. I will say that. Like if you coming at me, if you talking to me crazy, like I'm supposed to know how to do something that I've never done before, I'm gonna look at you like, bro, I ain't never did this. You know, I was the one. If you didn't have any patience around me and I'm learning something for the first time, man, I will stop. I used to do this all the time. If somebody try to teach me how to do something, and I'm 9, 10, I'm 8, whatever, and I've never done it before, fam. Even if I'm 15, 16, even now, if somebody's talking to me or trying to instruct me on how to do something that I've never done before, and they not exercising patience, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna let them know. Hey, look, I ain't never did this before, so hey, you might need to chill out on the tone, or if I sense they got an attitude or anything along those lines, I'm gonna let them know that I sense that and they got to chill that out. I ain't never did this before. This is new to me, so you're gonna have to calm all that down. I'm gonna get it when I get it. You know, have a little patience. I'm gonna let somebody know that off the rip when I sense that they not having that exercise and that patience. You know, because I can't really stand that. You're not about to be talking to me like I'm slow. Like if I'm doing something for the first time, I gotta process what's happening. You know, so exercise some patience, or else I'll go find somebody else. You know, I'm quick to put an end to that. Don't be around me if you ain't got any type of patience, man. And I'm trying to do something for the first time. Don't do that. Don't express an attitude. Don't try to rush me. Don't do none of that. And I'm gonna let that be known instantly. The moment I sense there's a problem. You know, it ain't my fault that you don't have patience. You know what I'm saying? Don't be taking that out on me. You need to work on that patience, but you're not about to work on it. You're not about to be trying to take all that out on me, though. Nah. Yeah, I never go for that. I never go for that. I'll be the one to point out your fault, your lack of patience. Like, nah, bro. Like, hey, we gonna work on that today. You're gonna improve this patience today. Like, I'm that one. You know, so again, gotta have that patience, fam. You know, I've been there, done that. Obviously, I train folk. You know, I train rookies that ain't never touched a weight a day in their lives, and I gotta walk them through, you know, baby steps. I gotta walk them through how to do exercises. Man, that's pretty hard, especially with somebody like me. I've been exercising all my life, so it's certain movements and exercises that come in second nature to me. It's like breathing. Like if you ask me to do a push-up, I can do a push-up without thinking about it. But try to instruct somebody to do a push-up that A, never did one before, or B, been doing them wrong all this time. That ain't no easy feat, you know, especially when you're dealing with an adult. Now you gotta have patience, fam. Man, you got patience. Practice patience. That's a quality. That's a quality of a leader that we sleep on too. You gotta have patience, fam. Gotta have patience. You don't want nobody rushing you, so start rushing people. People gonna learn on their own dime. You know, they gonna get it when they get it. You want everybody to get it the way you got it. That ain't how it works. And that's why a lot of those great players make bad coaches, fam, because they want everybody to get the game and play the game like they played it. Bruh, Michael Jordan, everybody not you, fam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not you, Mike. You got to have patience, fam. Not everybody is you, Mike. You know what I'm saying? You working with some Gordon Haywards, fam. You know, you working with Raymond Felton and Gerald Wallace, fam. They not Michael Jordan, fam. So you got to have patience. You working with Adam Morrison. These type of dudes who you bringing into your organization, they not Michael Jordan, fam. You know, so that's why a person like a Michael Jordan couldn't be no good coach. Antonio, my brother, peace. What's happening? Hey, Infinite Event. Hey, straight up. I used to be on that. I used to be on that for real with it, especially when I got to college. I'm like, man, look. Everybody, we learn it's different styles of learning. I had to tell them white folks at that college that I was at, man, it's different style. We learn a little bit different. Like we learn a tad bit different. We learn a tad bit different than you white folks. You know what I'm saying? It's a tad bit different. And this institution is suited for y'all to thrive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got to learn a totally different language to master y'all institution. Like I'm gonna do it, but it's gonna take me a little bit longer because I didn't grow up using this language that y'all using. You know, the white kids, this is everyday white language that we had in this institution. So these are everyday words that y'all use. I grew up in the black household. I grew up around black folk. We speak a different language, fam. So when I sit down in your white institution and all this stuff is worded in a way to where y'all understand it, I'm looking at it like, hold up. The way y'all would say this, I'd say this way. It means the same, but we say it in a different way, you know? So I had to express that to them folks. And some of them admitted to what I was saying as being true. I'm like, I know it. If a black, like, listen, if I control the curriculum and I'm the one writing the tests and things like that, the wording is going to look a little different. The black people will be able to relate to the stories, you know, the stories that I put in a test. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to be able to relate to the way I ask the question because I'm going to ask it in a relatable fashion opposed to how the white person going to ask it and word it. It's different, you know, patience. So I used to tell them that. I used to tell them that all the time, man. You better have pay. Y'all better have pay. This ain't the way we communicate on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? This just ain't it. We came up a little differently, man. We speak a little differently here, you know. So I got to learn. It's like I got to learn a little bit differently, you know. But it is what it is. Like, I adapted and I adjusted and I mastered it, you know. So again, I learned on my dime. But before I did that, I wasn't about to let nobody rush me. I wasn't about to let anybody talk to me like I was stupid and crazy. Oh, yeah, Zaru. See, I was already ahead of that, you know, because I already knew what they arguments was going to be, you know. So I already got a hold of that. And I like when I used to work in banking and you would get like, I go train on the white side of town, and man, you would be saying some things like white people funny, they good for this. Like you would say some things, and man, it's like everybody know what you mean, and the white person would be like, huh? Like for instance, man, when people walk in the gym, I'm like, what's the word? Come on now. A white person, I might come in there, man. A white person come in that bank, I'll be like, "What's the word?" And they looking at me like I'm speaking Chinese. Man, you know what I mean, man. You walk in a place, I hit you with "What's the word?" Man, you know good and well that's a greeting. Yes, huh? What do you mean? What's the word? Trying to be extra technical. You know, we spice things up. We add a little flavor to it, a little sauce to it. You know, we add a little sauce to it, and they be acting like they just really don't understand what we're saying. But we the slow ones, we the dumb ones. You know, but you can't use context clues and figure out what I mean by what's the word. I tell you what's the word, and you looking at me like I'm literally asking you to give me the word of the day. Like that's how that sound. What's the word? Oh well, perception. Like no, man, y'all know what that mean, man. But they always, I used to get them in the bank, man, when I used to talk, and they used to be like, "Huh? What do you mean?" Man, you know good and well what I mean, man. Stop acting stupid. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I got to make a move. I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid, man. I'm getting sidetracked, getting a bunch of people messaging me, but I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid on this wonderful Thursday. Appreciate donation, appreciate the cash app. I'm gonna try to tap in with y'all maybe tomorrow. If not, one day this weekend for sure. You know, so I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Thursday. I gotta make me my second smoothie the other day, then I gotta head back out to this gym. Hey, so y'all be easy, man. Y'all stay healthy and peaceful out here. I'm out, y'all. Peace.